today, and it's 8:51 in the morning. I've just had my assessment. Guess. Yeah, I passed it. We went trundling round some of the industrial estates around there, and there was a couple I haven't been round these industrial estates since I did my lessons, my test. And there's a couple of lane alterations that have occurred, and I put myself in the wrong lane at one point, so he marked me for that. I got 6 naughty boy points in total. Yes, naughty boy. But now we got back to the yard, and he said, look, if you continue to drive like that, we're not going to have any issues with you. So yeah, I passed that one, so the job's good. I've decided to go a little bit of a different way back to mine from here. I'm going out to the M25 instead of along the 406. Early in the morning going along the 406 perfectly fine, because my assessment was at 6 AM. But going back about this time of day is never very clever, so I'm going to go via Chelmsford anyway, go see a couple of friends. But yes, that's me assessed in a new site, so I should start getting some work out of that soon. It's always a bonus. The only downside is they run DAF. Automatic DAF as well. So it's put your foot on the accelerator, nothing. Oh, off we go. A horrible one. And the old exhaust brake, the continuous brake, that's on or off. There's no staggering it like in the Mercs and things like that, and the Volvos and the Mercs, you can stagger them. In the DAF it's on or off. It's a drive. But yeah, I thought I'd update you on that one. I have successfully passed the assessment, so it's always a bonus. So let's go into that, go to there, set cruise. Everyone's happy. I'm on cruise control. Shall I wander into the back and make a cup of tea? I don't have that warning, that safety warning on my one. No. I can wander in the back and make a cup of tea. Go then, sunshine, in your own time. No, fair enough. Well, I was trying to be nice, but can't help everybody all the time. But yes, it's nice to be in a new site. I mean, they all seem like a decent bunch of guys in there so far. Like I said, I'm not going to be mentioning who I'm driving for. I did ask, but the simple fact is it's a no-no. I mean, the drivers themselves, the guys down there themselves, they don't really mind, but the bigger bosses, they will do, so it's a no. Which is fine. I've always said if I can't do this at work, then I don't do this at work. But I did ask, just so as you're aware. They do get somewhat emotional about it, so I'm not going to chance it. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because nothing inside the cab gives away who you're driving for, and you can't really see any colour schemes. And of course it's a DAF, and you guys are used to me being in Volvo and Merc. I don't think I've ever driven an MAN whilst I've been doing this. Yeah, but it's DAF. It would have been nice to do a little show round of a DAF, but no, not the end of the world. But anyway, I'm going to crack on, go see a few friends down in Chelmsford, see how they're getting on. Joyful. Right, so, what's involved in an assessment? Well, every site differs, but primarily they want to see how you drive. Now, most sites will have a basic theory test, just to make sure you know the rules as far as they're concerned. Always read the questions. Some of them will try and catch you out. One of the questions I got was, you start at 6 AM, you finish at 2100. The following day, you start at 8 AM. Okay? how many hours daily rest have you had? Now, a lot of people will sit there and think 11, because you finish at 9 p.m, you start at 8, 11 hours. No, you started at 6 a.m, you finished at 21. So therefore, you've had in that day 9 hours rest. So you've got to be very careful how you answer it. You really have to read them. I read one, I knew the answer, and I ticked the wrong bloody answer. And he got back to me, he was marking it, he said, hold on a minute, what's da-da-da-da-da style thing? And I answered it, and he was like, well, why did you tick 1 then? Oh. So you do have to be careful, you do have to have your wits about you. But yeah, you'll have some kind of theory, just to make sure you know the basics, the driver's hours, basic highway code stuff, standard stuff really. Some sites will want to give you a drug and alcohol test. This one didn't. Some do. And then it's basically a trainer takes you out to the unit, you do your walk around checks as you normally would. And then once you've done those, it's a case of go and hook up to a trailer. So you do all your checks as you normally would in that situation. Then it's go for a drive. They'll take you on a course they know, a route that they know, predetermined. They'll just say left edge, straight, left at the roundabout or third exit or whatever, They'll just tell you where to go. They'll mark you. Do not hit a curb. Every site I have ever been to, if you're on an assessment and you clunk a curb, you fail the assessment drive. Every site I have ever been to is the same. So, command the road. There was one turning he took me down, cheeky sod he was. And it's a left-hand turn at a set of traffic lights off of a main road, but it's back on yourself, so it's a 180, and you have to go into the oncoming lane. I just put myself there and I graduated around it until I could see there was nothing there and carried on. He was like, lovely, want you to make sure you can do that. So that's always a bit of a bonus. Just give myself a bit of oomph. Now, when you change lanes, when you're on an assessment drive, you've got your mirrors, obviously. You check those, but when you're changing your lane on, moving out like I just did, then what you want to do is check through a motorbike. You check your mirrors, don't you? And then you give it a little motorbike check. If they see you do that, you're pretty much sorted. That is one check that they love you to do, because most trainers, most HGV guys have motorbikes. And most of the trainers will have motorbikes. They'll be bike riders. So when they see you do that, they like you. But that's just a little in tip. Have a conversation with them. Find out what you can, pry little bits of information from them. But outside of that, just drive the truck. I mean, he turned to me and he said, all I really want is a nice smooth drive from you. If you can provide me with a smooth drive, then we're not going to have any issues. So that's what you do. The only issue for me was it was a DAF, and the automatic box on a DAF, you can't be smooth. You can try, but it's a bit like an MAN. For those of you who don't know what I'm going on about, basically the gearbox is controlled by an electronic computer system, and instead of being an actual automatic, it's manual controlled by a computer system. So it tends to drive like a new driver. It throws the revs up, then releases the clutch. So you always have a bit of a jerk. Now you can balance the accelerator if you're careful, but I don't usually drive DAF. Haven't driven a DAF in 4 years, I suppose. And to begin with, I was very jerky. I was, oh, here we go, oh, there we go. I was very jerky in the beginning because I just wasn't used to it, but I started balancing it after a while. But always be prepared when it's an automatic. If it's a DAF or an MAN, you're going to have the revs thrown up, then the clutch is going to be introduced, and you're going to jerk away like that. You're going to, whoops, here we go. So be wary of that. I don't know what your Iveco are like. Volvos are fine, Scanies are fine, Mercedes are fine, but DAF and MANs are bloody horrible when they're automatic. But yeah, I mean, when you come to do an assessment, just take your time, figure things through, and let's say you end up in this situation, back off a little bit, let that vehicle go, and then just, there you go, just motor on nice and easy. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to do when you're on your assessment. You want to identify the vehicles down there, leave a bit of a gap, back off a little bit because they're going to keep pushing. Remember the length of your vehicle. If they're just in front of you or alongside your cab, there's a long way to go before they get back. Oh, he's slow right now, isn't he? I need this one because the slip road I want's coming up. But always try to bear in mind that when somebody is alongside your cab, they've got 50 plus feet to wait for you to go past, and so they will try and push. So you want to try and read what they're doing, and like I did back there in my car, back off a little bit, let them go and carry on. The assessor will love you for that, because you're not getting ragey, you're not going, come on then son, come on then son. You're not doing all of that kind of stuff. You're backing off, you're saving fuel, you're not wasting brakes. Everyone's happy, everyone's moving, it's all free flowing, it's lovely. But yeah, there we go, that's a little insight to assessments. They're all much of muchness on every site you go to. They're all pretty much the same. They just want to see you drive, don't hit curbs, don't speed. You know, don't try and make out you're the world's greatest driver. You're just driving. That's all you're doing. Chances are you're not going to know the area, or you'll know the area from years ago like I did today, but they'll have swapped lane priorities and you will end up in the wrong lane. You'll be like, oh crap. And they just indicate, make sure it's safe and do whatever you have to do. But you will get marked for that one, as I found out. But that's all you can do. Just drive sensibly. Don't be a moron. He just wants to make sure that you can do the job. That's all he wants. You'll have a reverse manoeuvre when you get back to the yard. Usually that's onto a dock, because each site will have its own dock procedure. You know, like when you drop a trailer, or if you're unloading, you might have to lock on dock or something like that. So they want you to drop the trailer, they want you to reverse onto a dock and drop the trailer so as they can take you through that process. But it's just a standard reverse manoeuvre, you should be able to do it. But yes, that's about it really. Oh, you've got to be joking. I've decided to go off towards Brentwood. Oh well. Boo-hoo, never mind. Anyway, onwards with my day. Well, that's my day done. Been out with my mates down the old tyre place, having a bit of a laugh and a joke, as you do. But no, it's all going to be fun with the DAFs once I get going on that site. Now that I've passed, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's just waiting for the shift now. I'm in a different place tomorrow. I've had a week off, which is always nice. It has to be said, I wasn't planning on having this week off, but it is nice. But anyway, I'm going to end today's upload. Now, to all the people who've been leaving comments on my last video, wishing me the best of luck and saying that you'll stick around and things like that, thank you very much. Thank you kindly. It does mean a lot.
I don't usually do this kind of a thing, I know, but thank you. I shall continue to make content about, well, anything and everything really, you know me. But anyway, I'm going to end today's vlog sitting in my living room. I think I might go and get a sneaky little beer. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. I'll see you in the next one. I've got a couple ready to upload, as I said in the last one, so obviously there'll be an upload tomorrow. But obviously when I'm in work I can't do anything at the moment. I will ask permission. I did in the place I went to today, but that's a no. I know that the place I'm into tomorrow is a no as well, because it's in the little stuff that you have to sign off. But I shall see what I can do. I'll see if I can get into a bit of a routine, maybe making something when I'm going to work, that kind of thing. But anyway, I'll see how the week plays out, because obviously tomorrow's Saturday. It's the last day of a week for me, if that makes sense, and then Sunday's a new week. So I'll see how it plays out next week. I should be working Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. I've got CPC on Wednesday. Rock on. Massive waste of time. But no. To be absolutely honest, I can see the point in CPC. The rules change so minutely and so regularly that something like CPC is actually quite a good idea. Because you go in and the only issue I have with CPC, other than some places charge through the nose, I'm going to a place in Sawbridgeworth on Wednesday, and I think it's 60 quid. There's a place just down the road from me, and it literally is, it's about 4 or 5 minutes away, something like that, and they're charging £89 plus VAT for the same thing. But my only issue with CPC is you can technically do the same subject each time, and it still counts. So let's say you go in and you do the health and safety one with a bit of the fire safety and all that kind of stuff. We'll just do that every single time. What's the point? Do you see what I mean? I think CPC should be more, you go in and it's based on any new changes that are coming in, that are planned, that have come in, that kind of thing, with a refresher, you know, like a tag on at the end, a bit of health and safety, a bit of manual lifting, all that kind of stuff. That's what I think CPC should be, but then what do I know? I'm just a truck driver. I've got CPC on Wednesday. I should have another bout CPC on the 28th of this month, because I needed to do 2. And I thought, you know what, sod it. I'll knock them out in the same month. And then next year, if I have the money, because I've got a few other things I want to do as well, but I might do my HazChem. Get me old, what is referred to as the ADR HazChem license, hazardous chemical license basically. Because that counts as 3. Then that's my CPC done for the next card from 2019. For, what is it, 5 years, isn't it? Yeah, it's 5 years. So I've got a card that's valid till 2019, and then I'd have one till 2024. Plus, it might open up some extra work, a bit of extra moolah, a bit more moolah. But anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. I've dragged this on again, as usual. And I shall see you in the next one, whenever that'll be. So cheers, guys, and take care.